Oh, g'day boys and girls and anyone who hasn't made their mind up yet. Uh, I've been posting a few videos recently about the carburetors on Swampy, and thought I'd give you a little bit of an update. I'm not going to show you anything because the carburetors are currently fitted to the bike and I really don't want to take them off yet again, for various reasons. Right. Bit of a story with these. When I first got the bike, I did the usual thing, massive service, replaced all the fuel lines and fuel filter, new Keihin air filter. Um, at some stage there, um, she blew a piston ring, so I honed out the cylinders. I was lucky to get away with that, I think, and replaced the piston rings. Obviously, all the gaskets that went with it. Rock box cover gasket, cylinder head gasket, and there's another one that goes between the cylinder and the crankcase. Also, the gasket between cylinder head and exhaust downpipe. Yeah, you can see where I'm going with this. I've done a lot of stuff. We were trying to run a business, and when I did all this work, I checked the valve seals at the same time, and they were cactus. They were letting oil through and letting exhaust fumes through and all sorts. So I ordered a set of those, and could I fit the buggers? Could I? Hell, they just refused, no matter what I did, to fit them. And so I just swore copiously and bought a new pair of complete cylinder heads. Yes. So I got all that going, and I wasn't dead chuffed with the performance of the bike. Anyway, I had already cleaned out and derusted and lined the tank, and oh well, the amount of crud in there, I might as well do the petcock. So I rebuilt the petcock because in these there's a little diaphragm which acts as a fuel pump. So fuel only gets fed to the carbies if the engine is running, or if you're daft enough to suck hard on the the vacuum hose, or if you set the petcock to prime, which is the easiest way. Anyway, I took the carbies off to clean them, and as expected, there was around about 3 tons of shite in each of them, give or take a ton or two. And I was expecting the diaphragms to be cactus, and they were. I took one carburettor off at a time. Okay, I made sure that I put them back together identical. Okay, so if I couldn't remember what I had taken apart and how I should reassemble it, I had the other one to refer to. So I carbie blasted everything inside, and I replaced the float needle, the main jet needle, the diaphragm, the main jet, and the pilot jet. Also, I had to change the damper spring that goes along with the diaphragm. The damper spring had been broken, clean broken. It didn't look like someone had twisted it. It looked like it had actually been cut and then stuffed back in. So someone's had a go. Didn't know what the hell they were doing, and just shoved all the stuff back in the box, taped it up, effectively, and so blow it on. But the surprise to me was that the bike ever ran, and it get up to 110 k's an hour very easily, even with me and the wife in, and I'm no lightweight. Anyway, the next thing I found was the mixture screw had been messed with. The sharp needle at the top end had been bent. It was actually S-shaped. So what I'm gathering is somebody got a pair of pliers and tried to straighten it. Yeah, right. Now, if you've looked at my other carburettor videos, I'll put a link into the main one, which takes you through everything I did. So on these mixture screws, you have a spring. The purpose of the spring is so that the screw doesn't vibrate loose while you're running the engine. There's a washer and an O-ring. Now the O-ring is like an air seal. So basically what it does is it maintains a pressure differential between the outside air, ambient, and the air pressure inside the carburettor. If that doesn't work properly, the carburettor shouldn't work properly. Well, the washer is there to go between the spring and the O-ring so that the spring doesn't dig into the O-ring and destroy it. Now, whoever was at this last put the O-ring on first and then the washer, so the O-ring was in direct contact with the spring. And of course, when I took this apart, all I could find was little fragments of the O-ring, which I had to clean out. Anyway, local bike shop, RMS Motorcycles in Warhope, supplied me with a new set of washers and O-rings at very low cost. They're good guys up there. Go see them. Okay. And this isn't a paid promotion. This is just me telling what my neighbours are like. Okay. So having fixed all that, I got the new jets, as I said. Now, the jets that were fitted, if you watch my other videos, you'll know there are three. There's a starter jet, which just puts in an extra $1 per petrol when you want to start the engine. Didn't change that, just blasted it with carbie blaster. I've put it in the little El Cheapo ultrasonic bath I've got here. And the next one is the pilot jet. Now, that was a size 40. That's 0.4 of a mil aperture. Okay. As it turns out, that was way too big. The jet kit that I got contained a size 38 pilot jet. Oh, by the way, in other vids I've called it an idle jet. Some people call it a slow jet, but the more I've researched about this, because I knew nothing, I'll say I knew nothing about carbies before I started. I've adjusted a few Webers in the past and some simple work on SU carbies. But never seen the insides of a Keihin carbie. I didn't really understand what I was looking at until I researched like bloody crazy. When you research, find at least 3 articles or videos where the authors agree with one another. I've got couple of circles in the eyeballs. It's from the light behind the mobile. Right, so uh, size 40 pilot jet was in there, and I replaced it with a size 38. That'll become relevant in a little while. The main jets, um, already in there, were size 125, and the kit I got had size 122. Right, now, major thing that was upsetting me with the performance of the bike was that the spark plugs would keep sooting up, and that suggested to me that we had a rich mixture or a malfunctioning carburettor, basically. And so I set about adjusting the mixture screw to see what I could achieve. And oh look, the mixture screw, typical advice that you find is when you've replaced the O-ring and etc., to wind it all the way in. Don't refit just until you feel the resistance, and then wind it back out 1.5 to 2 turns. And then when you're adjusting, do both carbies alternately, quarter of a turn at a time. Well, I got those mixture screws in to a quarter of a turn, and it was still sooting up. And running the engine, running the bike around, it was apparent that mixture was lean, way too lean, and the engine was overheating very, very quickly. So I got back into the garage as fast as I could and pulled out plugs, and they were sooty. So cleaned them back up, and I ran the engine like that for 10 minutes, just on idle, didn't rev, just let it run. And there's a point to this, because with your two running jets, the pilot jet and the main jet in a Keihin, the pilot jet runs the engine obviously when you're idling, but up to around about a quarter of throttle. Around about that time, the main jet kicks in, and the mixture balance between pilot and main jet changes up until about 3/4 of full throttle, when the main jet is supplying all the fuel and the pilot jet is doing nothing. So you go from quarter throttle, main jet just engages, and pilot jet starts to drop out of the equation. By the time that the throttle is at 3/4, the main jet is supplying 100% of the fuel. So if you're idling and the plugs are furring up, then the problem's with your pilot jet, and it's too rich. And as I explained before, I couldn't I'd gone down to 1/4 of a turn out, and this was still rich. So, righty ho. This is a size 40, 38. I had size 40 on before, so I'm going to go down to a smaller size to see if I can make the mixture for the pilot jet leaner, which I've done. I've put in size 35 jets, and my crikey, we're no longer sooting up. But when we get out on the highway or out on the main road, and we're doing 80 odd k's, we got guts, nothing, absolutely gutless. Um, it struggles to get up to 78 k's an hour, can't take even a gentle hill, and she's running too lean. You can feel it. So what that means to me is that the main jet is too small and it's not delivering enough fuel. So what's been going on here? A little bit of forensics, and whoever was playing with these carbs before I got the bike um, either couldn't get the right jets or didn't know what the hell he was doing. Um, so he's put size 40 jets in, okay, which is 0.05 of a millimetre larger aperture. It don't sound much, but it means a hell of a lot in terms of the bike's performance. And so the reason the bike's been running okay at full throttle is because the pilot jet is still supplying whack loads of fuel. It's producing that much that it doesn't stop supplying fuel even when you're at full throttle, and it's supposed to cut off at the 3/4 point. So, okay, we've got rid of the over enrichment thing with the pilot, but now we've got the issue with the main jet being too small. So, I know the 122 jets now are too small. I'm pretty damn sure the 125 jets must have been too small, because that's why this bloke, whoever it was, has done what he's done. So I'm now looking at getting a size larger than the 125s, which were originally in there. So that'll be 128s. I'm hoping that they will fix the problem. I might have to go up to 130s. Um, the sizes go up in 2s and 3s. And it doesn't seem to be any logic to whether it's a 2 or a 3. But yeah, this is what I've discovered. I'm not a qualified mechanic. Like a lot of blokes of my age, I discovered how to be a Saturday Arvo mechanic at the side of the road outside the house, helping my mates on a weekend. Um, yeah, you know the picture. Um, so this has been a voyage of discovery, several months worth of it, but it's made my retirement very interesting. But yeah, look, if you got any further questions, or if there's something that I said don't seem too clear, stick it in the comments down there. I'll add the link to my major vid about the Keihin Carb, so that you can see what I'm referring to. I'm not going to do all these things 3 or 4 bloody times. So yeah, please, if this has helped keep you informed, give it a like. So let me know if people actually are liking what I'm doing. And about 97% of the people who come back to watch these videos aren't subscribing, which is really weird. Give us a subscribe. It'll give me an idea whether I'm actually doing something that people are liking, people getting something out of it, even if it's just a laugh at this old fella trying to get his bike running properly. Alrighty, cheers. Catch you next time.